CDFA, or Continuous Descent Final Approach, is a game-changer in the world of instrument approaches. Traditionally, pilots would fly a step-down profile, descending in stages and often leveling off at each step. This method could be stressful, especially in poor weather or at night, as it required constant altitude changes and increased pilot workload. CDFA transforms this old, segmented approach into a smooth, constant-angle descent. Just like a precision ILS approach, where the aircraft follows a continuous glide path all the way to the runway threshold. This means the pilot can focus on flying a stable, predictable path, rather than worrying about multiple level-offs and altitude changes. Instead of leveling off at the minimum descent altitude, or MDA, you calculate a constant descent rate from the final approach, fix, all the way to the runway. This allows you to maintain a stabilized approach, which is one of the most important factors in safe landings. The aircraft remains in a steady descent, with minimal power and configuration changes, reducing the risk of errors. The MDA, which used to be a level-off point, now becomes a true decision point. If you see the runway environment at that altitude, you're cleared to land. You simply continue the descent and touch down smoothly. If not, you execute a go-around immediately without hesitation. This clear, binary decision process removes ambiguity and helps prevent unstable approaches or rushed landings. No more driving at low altitude, just a single, continuous descent that keeps you well above obstacles and terrain until you're ready to land. This shift to a decision altitude mindset is a huge safety improvement, as it encourages pilots to plan ahead, brief the approach thoroughly, and commit to a stabilized path from start to finish. By eliminating the hazardous low-level segment where pilots used to dive and drive, CDFA greatly reduces the risk of controlled flight into terrain and other approach accidents. CDFA also standardizes the approach, making it more intuitive for pilots of all experience levels. With a clear, repeatable process, there's less room for confusion or error, and the approach becomes much easier to brief and fly. It turns what used to be a complex, high-workload task into a routine, manageable maneuver. Pilots can focus on monitoring the approach, communicating with the crew, and preparing for landing, rather than juggling multiple altitude changes. That's why CDFA has become the new standard in aviation, delivering safer, more efficient, and more predictable approaches for pilots and passengers alike.